would never do that. Darren Haley said he didn't instruct the employee to lock the dumpster. He just said, go close the dumpster gates per the city ordinance in Reading and make sure the lid is closed because the city will fine us. But he didn't tell the employee to lock anything, and nothing was locked. It's just the lid was closed and the gates were shut. However, guest at the local Taco Bell says say that they heard the homeless man beating on the top of the dumpster, screaming, let me out, let me out. And they finally reported it to police. When police got there, there were no locks on the dumpsters. The gates didn't have any locks on them either. And the guests say they didn't see any employee go back out there and take locks off of anything or at all. But they said they did see locks at one time. So I don't know whose story's right here, but
sounds really fishy. That
but still
aren't coming.
But a homeless man sleeping in your dumpster, and you go out there and you shut the top on him and all.
What does that
tell the guy to get out of the dumpster?
What is shutting the?
Even if you're out there holding the dumpster shut, just tell the guy, get out of my dumpster.
Yeah,
makes no sense to me. People sometimes, the way they're just mean. And a Trivinated Tuesday with Tom wouldn't be complete if I didn't have a weird story out of Florida. In a melee that lasted about 10 minutes, Palm Beach Sheriff's Office deputies had to confront a naked man who was on a violent rampage. Conrad Hopper, 17, who deputies said appeared to be in the throes of delirium, faces a host of charges after he fought with deputies while wielding a large clock. On Tuesday, Sheriff's Office deputies said they were forced to shoot and kill another naked aggressor after he bit a man in the face. So these is twice they've confronted men with no clothes on that they've had to, use violence to bring under control. The 10-minute melee against Conrad Hopper, the man with the large clock, included a squad of deputies that used batons, a police dog, and a stun gun, and all their might to subdue the male who was swinging this metal clock about 10 inches in diameter attached to a chain-like apparatus, swinging it in a circle at all the cops.
Sounds like he just was on a rampage and a mission, and the clock was the first.
Are you sure his name was Conrad Hopper? Or is that Flava Flav just gone off the deep end?
I was thinking the same thing. The clock was his first at his disposal.
There you go. That brings to a close another Trivinated Tuesday with Tom. Coming up in 4 o'clock hour, Buddy Martin joins us. He'll have some Olympic spoiler alerts, plus he'll tell you about the S-curve. All that coming up on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
That boom, boom, boom. That boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Yo, I got that hit to beat the block. You can get that bass on, but
Hey, it's Tom James. I agreed to join Buddy and the gang every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 o'clock to talk sports on the Voice of Ocala. We call it Around the Water Cooler. 1 hour to solve all the problems in the world of sports. Little did I know just how opposite our opinions would be. How can a group of guys see the same thing so differently? Some days I wonder if it's just water in that water cooler. Join Buddy, Schmitty, JJ, Austin, and me, Tom James, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5. It's Around the Water Cooler on WOCA, The Source.
If you missed Dr. Buddy recently, you missed Dr. Buddy's advice on what women should do when they found out they've been cheated on by their man.
What to do after D-Day. Recommends take time off. Going away for a while, with or without children, helps you gain clarity. Take a few days off from work. If that's not possible, go away for a weekend. Even if you can only afford to go down the street to a friend's house, the personal time is worth it. So that's the one from E. Langro. Another one from E. Langro says, after this has happened to you, and you found out your husband is cheating on you, surround yourself with people who love you. Ask for help and support from your parents, siblings, and friends right away. Don't be afraid to ask of what anyone might think, because this situation is not your fault. This one comes in from Lonely from him. Learn to say no. You're under extreme stress, but the rest of your life, job, kids, friends, won't calm down. Prioritize your responsibility so you can put some of them on the back burner. Start to tell people, I will have to deal with this low priority issue later.
Make sure you tune in to Dr. Buddy every Monday on The Voice of Ocala.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala Restore at 926 Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give us a call at 401-0075 and we'll come pick it up. For more information, visit ocalarestore.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County. Building homes, building hope, building community.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Being physically intimate with your spouse on a regular basis ends up making people look 7 years younger. And studies show that obese people who added vinegar to their diet had lower body weight, lower body fat, and lower triglyceride levels. You might want to brush up on your on-camera interview skills because today, 42% of first-round interviews take place over the internet via webcam.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound, all-beef chili dog or a tasty, home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
You're listening to WOCA, Ocala.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
To go to college, a new study says it can be even more expensive not to go. The Pew Research Center says the gap in pay between college and high school graduates is bigger than ever, almost $20,000 a year. If a parent has to choose between a digital device and their kids, guess who loses? A children's health expert noticed a rise in the number of injuries in kids 5 and under. Dr. Stephen Teach calls it distracted parenting. It's been a rough winter across much of the nation, and a propane shortage isn't helping. Some small businesses have been forced to close until spring, and many homeowners are being told not to expect a delivery for months. Shaun White had hoped to win his 3rd Olympic gold. The snowboarder will be leaving Sochi, though, without any medals after finishing 4th in the halfpipe. Erin Hamlin won a bronze in women's luge, but you know what? She thinks it's as good as gold. So would a lot of her teammates agree. She's the first American woman to medal in the event. This is ABC News.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com, or call 877-938-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Celebrate President's Day with the freedom of choice at Rent-A-Center. Right now, you can take home name brand big screen smart LED TVs, washer and dryer pairs, even laptops and tablets. Your choice for one low price with no credit check. Hurry into Rent-A-Center now through February 22nd for the President's Day sale and get big brands for small payments with no credit check. Only at Rent-A-Center, where you're free to choose. Rental purchase lease transaction offer expires February 22nd, 2014. See store.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma. Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Hello, welcome to Hour 2 of the program, The Voice of Ocala. Buddy Martin joining the fray now after 1 hour of complete havoc where Tom Schmitz gave away everything we had. We're now speaking from a new studio with only one chair and one table. Everything else went to the winners of the trivia contest. So I'll be with you for the next 2 hours. We've got lots to talk about in this hour. Angie Lewis will not be joining us today. Back in her normal spot next Tuesday at 2:30. Well, she'll have a special guest and recognize this person for all her work in the community. Today on the Around the Water Cooler segment, the ever-popular Dave Pingalore, who made a brilliant prediction that came true, will join us on the show, and we'll have a go at him along with Tom James, Tom Schmitz, Austin Tatman. I don't believe we have Josh today. I think Josh is at school today. So we'll be here with you for the next 2 hours. Stay tuned. Lots to talk about. We'll tell you about a funny incident involving Lawrence Fishburne versus Samuel L. Jackson. It's kind of funny. One of the world's most embarrassing interviews. Also, a great lady of the screen, Shirley Temple, passed away at 85. She had quite a life. Question raised today, what could Justin Bieber learn from Shirley Temple?
A lot.
A whole bunch. I'll tell you about that. And a nice, really, comment written by the Esquire writer about who Shirley Temple was. Probably, Austin, you don't even know who she was.
I like Shirley Temple, like the drink.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, as I'll say in this piece, I don't foresee a time in the near future where someone will go to a place they serve alcohol and order a drink for their kids saying, give me a Justin Bieber.
No.
That ain't going to happen, right?
No.
But she was quite a special child. She was the ultimate child star, by the way, and all the way through her lifetime. She was a star, and she did many great things for her country and her community. Like Tom said last hour, we're going to talk about the revival of the S-curve. For those of you not from around here, don't know that the S-curve is over by Monroe Hospital, coming off of Magnolia. If you're going south on Magnolia from downtown Ocala, as you begin to weave your way around the corner there, and what used to be Elliott's Drive-In for all the old-timers, you go a right and a left, and if you kept on going around left, you go to the old place called the Chicken Ranch, which is a place we used to. Anyway, this is a very historic place for lots of people in this town. I mean, generations have known it for a long time. And there's some stuff going on there, which sounds good. And we were out there a couple of weeks ago and talked to proprietors of a couple of places. And now today, Star Banner has a piece about what's going on. A new place called the Crazy Cucumber opening up. That's what they call that place, Tom. So we'll discuss.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I'll be making a trip. We stopped in to have lunch. They weren't open, remember? So
we did. We were gonna eat there, and they were like, "We're not open yet."
Yeah. So we'll have to go out there here soon and check out the Crazy Cucumber. Seems to fit your personality,
right?
Also, lots of good stuff on our tweets and quotes coming your way. Let's do this. We've got news on the Winter Olympics at Sochi, But in keeping in our promise, we don't want to ruin your night. If you're waiting to find out what happened tonight on a couple of people, then let me just warn you right now, we're going to give you a couple of blasts on our spoiler alerts.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear the answers, if you don't want to hear the outcomes, turn your radio down now. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
As they say down south, they say everywhere else it's spoiler alert.
Yeah, I'm from South Georgia.
My friends make fun of me when I used to speak that way. I called it oil instead of oil. But it's still the same thing.
It is oil.
Okay, you ready? Fire it one more time. Let's make sure we know. If you don't want to know what happened today,
spoiler
put your fingers in your ear.
Alert.
Give us about 90 seconds of what we've done. Number one, here we go. Shaun White, who virtually invented the sport almost.
He did, pretty much.
Will not win a medal.
Wow.
He's fourth in the half pipe. No longer
fourth. Didn't even medal.
Yeah, fourth, and he's no longer the king of Olympic snowboard half pipe.
Well, yeah, but the other American one, right?
Well, no, the other guy. I don't know if he won. I mean, there's a guy named iPod his name was
Iori. Switzerland.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you the name. Iori Podladchikov of Switzerland, known as iPod. He won gold, and two Japanese won the other. So it took the silver and bronze. So there was big news, however, in the luge. Fire that thing up again. Let's let people know. Here's the luge alert. Spoiler alert. Keep it going. If you want to know the luge, you know the luge, the one we never, ever win anything in, the luge. Just keep it going for a while. The luge, you know the luge. Everyone makes fun of it. They just get on. Guess
it's just
what?
a sled.
Don't listen if you don't want to know what happened today.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Here we go.
Olympic spoiler alert. Don't listen if you don't want to hear the outcome.
Aaron Hamlin of the United States took a bronze in the singles luge today. The first Olympic singles medal in the U.S. history. So there you go.
Wow.
Now, locally, don't listen if you don't want to know about this.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Trinity Catholic graduate Brittany Bowe made her debut on Tuesday. Did not work out too well. She finished 13th in the 500 meters in Sochi. 34 skaters took part in the two heats.
That's not her big deal. There's 1,000 meters.
But still, 13th is not where she wanted to be. So she'll hope to rebound on Thursday and considered a favorite to win the 1,000 meters. And finally,
I'd guess she holds the world record.
Bellevue grad Emily Scott, whose journey included survival on food stamps, skated to the quarterfinals and have a shot there. And she has quite a story to tell. The community took up, I don't know where the community she lives now, but the community where she lives took up money, and her father will be able to come over and join her there. So there's your Winter Olympics, Sochi, spoiler alert.
So they can turn the radio back up now.
Turn it back on.
Of course, if they have it turned down, they don't know they can turn it back up.
And I'll deny any of that, okay?
Deny what?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We come back, we'll talk about what can Justin Bieber learn from Shirley Temple, and who was she? And I'll tell you all about, when you do when you do a interview and you're going down a road where you didn't mean to go and you get something wrong and the sinking feeling you're having.
Right.
It's almost like broadcast news when, remember, the guy was sweating like crazy.
Right.
And you just know things are bad. Well, this went really bad for a guy out in Los Angeles who got the world's most embarrassing moment when he interviewed Samuel L. Jackson. I'll tell you about that next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Here's Sheriff Chris Blair of the Marion County Sheriff's Office talking about community involvement.
Your thoughts about giving and about giving back, and what your model is for that.
From our perspective, it's in us, to serve our community. That's what we wanted to do probably as young men, and we came up that way. And it's just so important to make sure, as the chief said, that we keep our community safe. And so in doing that, we try to work with organizations throughout the community. If they have needs that they need, we certainly jump in and try to help them out.
Now remember to catch Ask the Cops every second and fourth Friday of the month right here on WOCA, brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer fighting for accident victims' justice since 1976.
We're not just the horse capital of the world. Ocala Marion County is now the hoops capital, too, thanks to the 2013 national champion CF Patriots basketball team. The McDonald Allstate Agency brings you the reigning kings of the court all season long right here on WOCA. Coach Tim Ryan and the Patriots look to defend their national crown and get set to host the state tournament this coming spring. The McDonald Allstate Agency brings you CF basketball only on WOCA, the source.
WOCA. CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion, formerly Workforce Connection, is your partner in employment solutions. Whether you are looking for a job or searching for a great new employee, CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion is here to help with a full menu of services, all at no charge. To learn more, drop by one of our career centers, visit our website at careersourceclm.com, or give us a call at 1-800-434-JOBS. CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion. New name, same focus on solutions that work for you.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine, featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
The weather is brought to you by MyFWC.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. A nice day today with partly sunny skies and a high of 75 to 79. Partly cloudy tonight, low 57 to 62. Some sun followed by clouds tomorrow with some showers and thunderstorms around in the afternoon, the high 78 to 82. Thursday, clouds breaking for some sun, breezy and much cooler with highs in the low to mid 60s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
WOCA, Ocala.
Lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny beach in Peppermint Bay.
Baby boomers know that song, and of course that's the late great Shirley Temple, later Shirley Temple Black, who had a terrific career in show business. She was a child star, the first child star, by the way. Later on became U.S. ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia. Probably the same route that Justin Bieber will take one day, you think?
She was also a congresswoman from, North Dakota, South Dakota?
She was I don't remember where she's from.
Black Hills.
Yeah. But
that's
anyway,
South Dakota.
She was in Congress, and then she, of course, became an ambassador, which is even bigger.
Shirley Temple Black.
And, of course, everybody who knows anything about, going into a bar, even Justin is... Justin too. Austin have heard of Justin Bieber, and Austin have heard of this. When you go into a bar and you have kids and you don't want to drink alcohol, you order a Shirley Temple. Like we said, not likely someone will say, give me a Justin Bieber, will you? Not going to happen. I read something today I thought was very well put. I thought about Austin and Josh and people like that who didn't really know much about Shirley Temple. Because today's child stars, for the most part, are petulant brats. That's how it's worked out for the
Haven't
most
they
part.
been that way for a while, though? Since like the 70s?
For a while, yeah. But there's been a few.
Those kids on different strokes. The one girl that was on different strokes.
I don't want to say they're all that way because there's probably some nice ones that did.
But a lot of them have troubles.
They're becoming entitled and they have problems. Anyway, so a guy named Stephen Marsh of Esquire wrote this. So I think it was absolutely, this is where words can put something in, an written word can have power to explain who Shirley Temple Black was. Shirley Temple died last night, far from her fame. A publicist announced that she was surrounded by her family in her home in Woodside, California. She must have known which picture was going to appear in the obituaries. An 85-year-old lady with a lot of life behind her will inevitably be recalled as a 6-year-old girl. Shirley Temple was the first child movie star. She was also the wisest. She understood the cruelty of celebrity before its trajectory was so well established. It's hard to imagine the supersized absolute celebrity that Shirley Temple achieved. At her height, she made Brad Pitt today look like a provincial touring actor. She was by far the biggest box office draw for 4 consecutive years from 1935 to 1938. The sheet music of On the Good Ship Lollipop, which is just what you just heard, sold over 500,000 copies. She was more than famous. As a child star, she was the icon of her times. She represented the desires as well as the aspirations of the whole world. She was pluck embodied. She was hope and determination embodied. She was cute, white innocence embodied, and she achieved the apotheosis of fame. She was turned into a cocktail. This is as close to eternity as celebrity culture ever gets. So,
that's very well said.
Oh, it's beautifully written, beautifully written. So that tells you a little bit about who she was and the perspective of who she was. So R.I.P. Shirley Temple Black. All right, I don't think, Austin, do you know where the S-curve is?
Only because I read it in the Star paper.
Okay, so you read the paper. Well, good for, there's a novel idea, a 19-year-old who reads the paper. Wow. And
why would you read a paper?
If I hadn't read it this morning, you asked me yesterday, do I know where the S-curve is? I would have no idea.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, a lot of people don't. Tom and I went out there a little over 2 weeks ago. We said, let's go find someplace different to eat. We like to move around, and Tom likes to eat a lot, so we go around a lot. So we went looking out by the S-curve, which is, as I said, on South Magnolia, just before you turn right to go to Pine Avenue there, as it goes around to the right. That building that's kind of the triangle-shaped building right there on the left, Tom, is the old Firestone.
Right.
Building. Used to be Firestone. Ernie Griggs' Ocala Tire and Firestone used to be right there. Anyway, so we went out there and we saw some activity, and this is what the old Elliott's Drive-In used to be. Elliott's has been several things since then, but for kids in my school days, when we were going to school over where 8th Street is now, we would go there for lunch and have a great burger at Elliott's Drive-In. So anyway, so we stopped in. We thought, well, we'll try it out. So we walked in, and who did I see there but Sonny Elliott, who still owns the property. And inside, there were some people hammering on some things, doing some stuff. So we walked in, and we got a menu, kind of, it's a sample menu, and had a chance to talk to Wendell Landry, who's opening this sort of delicatessen. He said, here's some of the things we're going to serve, but we're not open yet. So apparently, this place is open now, and we're going to try it. The Crazy Cucumber serves breakfast and lunch off a menu that is healthy conscious, according to the story in the Star Banner. And they have Angus steak burgers and veggie burgers and salads, et cetera, flatbreads and panini sandwiches.
Can you go in and get a peeled cucumber and, just sprinkle some salt on it and eat it like that? I wonder if you can do that.
Well, it's a crazy cucumber. You never know.
You never know.
You never know what it may have.
My mom used to give us those for snacks. It was the greatest thing.
We've had that one, but I have most everything else. Anyway, so this is what's happening out there, and I'm glad to see it because it's a part of historical Ocala, really, and it seems like there's a little bit of a revival going down on that side of town. Remember, North Magnolia and South Magnolia, with downtown in between, they've got plans for a Vision 2035 for it, and you can see the signs popping up here, popping up there. In fact, Vic Buttermore from Signs Unlimited made this sign today or yesterday when the picture was taken of the Crazy Cucumber. So congratulations to the folks out there. I think Sonny's got a place right behind that. He was saying that people don't know the S-curve, but next door, the new strip mall we just redid, he says we're going to call it the S-curve Plaza, was it, or something like that?
Right.
So the S-curve is coming back, and I think that's going to be a good thing for all concerned. So Congratulations to folks out there.
Buddy, remember a few weeks ago you brought up the stupid trend, the knockout game?
More than stupid.
Remember that trend, though?
I remember it, yeah.
You know where Central Park is. You've been there many times in New York City.
Yeah.
Well, there were two kids in Central Park, two 17-year-olds in Central Park. And Thomas and Becky Lewiston of Bristol, Massachusetts. I don't even know where Bristol, Mass is. I know there's Bristol, Connecticut, but anyway. Bristol, Mass. Were on vacation in New York City, walking by these two guys that were standing beside each other. One of the guys spun around and backhanded Thomas's wife, Becky, in the face. Backhanded her with a closed fist in the face. Becky went to the ground, but Becky's an MMA fighter. She trains MMA fight style.
Come on,
as
Becky.
Does her husband. As does her husband.
Becky. Come on, Becky. Get up there and kick his butt.
As does her husband. No charges have been filed by the New York City police against Becky and Thomas. Charges have been filed against the two guys. The police were able to locate the two because Becky and Thomas beat them unconscious after they punched Becky in the face in Central Park.
They couldn't locate their nose, however. It was on the other side of their face.
They knocked them unconscious and then waited for police to arrive.
I love it. I think I'd make a T-shirt. T-shirts that say, "I got your knockout right here."
I thought that was a great. I didn't use that during trivia dinner. I wanted to let you hear that story.
I am a little disturbed by the woman fired into the fast food, though. And
that was a little strange.
Made it a point. You might repeat it for those that didn't hear it, but that's my issue with too many people with guns. That bothers me.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Because she went to a drive-through in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They got her order wrong, but they said next time you come through the drive-thru, it'll be free. So she came back 3 hours later. They got that order wrong, so she took her 32 out of her purse and shot into the restaurant. Didn't hit anybody, luckily.
And they messed up her order and did what?
They left bacon off of her hamburger.
Mm.
So I guess it's a killing offense now, according to this woman, if you don't get bacon on your hamburger.
Let me just say this. People who work in Wendy's right now ain't going to forget no bacon anymore, I guarantee you that.
No.
That's ridiculous.
I bet these two guys in Central Park don't play the knockout game ever again either.
They won't be playing anytime soon. Got your knockout right here, pal. That's a great story. Let me give you a couple of tips today, which I think are pretty good. Try to make these, especially for Valentine's. We're going to help you out on Valentine's Day. You goofballs got your Valentine's yet?
I told you what mine was.
Huh?
Part of it.
What do you mean you got part of it? You can't be a part of a Valentine. You can't tear half of it.
No, I'm still yet to get half of.
But you're going to get
two
things.
Yes. Well,
are you getting there the haircut and the candy? Oh, I'm sorry. Let that out of the bag.
That was yesterday.
I'm going to help. Yeah, I'm going to help you out.
All
It's
right.
a great idea.
Okay.
I'm always times concerned about this when we don't buy as gifts as much as we used to. Johnny and I did. We buy a few, but we used to buy a lot more. But it just after a while you get older, you think, what can I possibly get? I mean, if I want something, I buy it. I'm like, don't waste your money and time on me. Give me a card. But here's a great idea. Tell your sweetheart, and this could be for women to tell men, that you got their Valentine's present and say, you want to guess what it is? And they'll give you a list.
Nice.
And you'll know what to do, what to go get.
What to get.
Isn't that great? Great idea.
That's a good idea.
Just say, okay, I got your present. Oh, yeah, what is it? I'm not telling you. Take a guess. Well, is it the perfume? I'm not saying. The candy? Well, maybe, but keep on guessing.
Yep.
I'll go through the whole list.
The whole time you're just making mental notes.
All you're making is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one I've never heard of before. Maybe you guys have. I don't know if it's for sure true. And by the way, you're both docked 1 point today in faking the factoid for complaining about yesterday.
It's a setup.
Call any pizza place. I want you to try this now. Austin, you can try this. Call any pizza place and ask them if they have any orders that people did not pick up.
Fact. You'll get it at a discount.
There you go. You'll get it at a discount.
Fact. I used to tell people all the time when somebody would call in at Mellow Mushroom, if there was a pizza left, I'd say, hey, try to sell that pepperoni we got up there. Tell them we'll sell it to them half price.
It's got anchovies, but we'll give it to you half price.
I used to sell people, whatever I could get out of a pizza that somebody called in, because people, especially in a college town, they think it's like a funny thing to call in and then not come pick up their order.
Yeah.
So I always would tell my people taking to-go orders, try to sell that pizza if you can.
Yeah. Now you have to have phone numbers, so Did you have the phone number?
Not then, yeah.
Different. Hey, I want somebody to try this and tell me if it works. I know you say you've done it, but I want somebody in Ocala to call a pizza place the next couple of nights.
I did it 15 years ago.
Yeah, just try and say, what do you got left over nobody wanted? That's not eaten, that bitten into, and say, okay, well, we got this, 12-inch pepperoni, normally on sale for $9.99, and give it to you for $5. Let's see if it works. I'm anxious to find out. So, all right, let's go ahead and take our break now. Come back, we'll play Fake or Factoid. We'll check the news wire for more news. Coming up in the Sports Hour, we'll talk more about Michael Sam. We've got Dave Pingalore, by the way. I wonder what Ping thinks about Michael Sam and also Keith Smart. And they say this dunk, LeBron, I saw it in practice, out of sight. They're talking about it like it was a real game. It was an unbelievable dunk on video. I'll tell you about it a little bit later. Don't peek, Austin, just yet. So, we have Go Long today. That means we're going to give a little commentary. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Cal Ripken of the Olympics having his streak broken. And I know that I forget what Tom James told me.
Tom James is talking about Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali of the 60s versus Mike Tyson of the 80s.
Yeah.
That's that age-old argument.
Yeah.
That really there is no answer to.
Yeah, there's no. It's obviously a rhetorical question, but which one we can talk about?
And I'm going to talk about fans, and is it time that we might need to police the fanatic in fans?
Okay, good, because I almost thought about that too and decided not to. And I hear by the grapevine that Austin Statman Tatman may participate and go along today.
I will, buddy. I'll have a go along about a new way for coaches to recruit.
All right.
Wow.
And wait till you hear who Seth Greenberg, you know who he is, and analyst, says is the best team in America. You'd be kind of surprised.
He was a former coach at Virginia Tech.
And it's at USF.
Yes.
Yeah. And twice, I think, two-time coach of the year in the ACC, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We got Fake or Factoid. We got all kind of stuff. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Austin, I'm sitting here at the computer looking at our Facebook page, and boy, we really need to tell more listeners about our Facebook page.
No, Tom, so you got it all wrong. Twitter is the new age.
What's a tweeter?
No, a Twitter, Tom. The Voice of Ocala has a Twitter.
We do? Well, how do we tell our listeners about that?
All they have to do is get the Twitter app or go to twitter.com, type in Voice of Ocala in the search box, and click follow.
All right, well, what's the tweeter do?
The Voice of Ocala's Twitter page updates all of its followers on the latest news, guests, giveaways, and contests.
Oh, okay. But couldn't listeners just tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 to 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, or even go to online at WOCA.com? Wouldn't that be easier?
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself. Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's KT, the number 4, fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, this is Joe from Damage Control Services. Join me Tuesdays at 10:30 when we discuss what to do when your property gets damaged, how to fix it fast, and get back on track. At Damage Control, we specialize in helping home and business owners recover from damage caused by floods, fires, storms, tree damage, mold, and all other insurance-related disasters. So when disaster strikes, big or small, call Damage Control Services. Call me 352-817-6574.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
WOCA, keeping you in touch with Ocala.
Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead.
Okay, we'll keep you up to date on any news that's necessary. We've given our spoiler alert, however, before, and we can't repeat it because now we'd be violating the trust of the listeners. We don't want to tell you whether Shaun White won gold or didn't get any medals. I can't tell you that right now, and how our locals did. So we gave the one-time report, and so meanwhile, there is another spoiler alert, however, if you turn up the notification. Remember we said Angie Lewis won't be here today, right? Right? Turn that siren up.
Not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, my friend. She just texted us. Angie is on her way in right now as we speak.
She of course, play fake or factoid.
Well, kick your butt probably again. And so Angie on her way in. She'll catch the last half hour here. So good. That's always good news to see Angie. She's a busy lady. You've been following this story of this guy in Jacksonville who fired into a car and killed a 7-year-old kid because he said he felt threatened by what he thought was a gun. And obviously there's been no evidence of that gun, and it's a tragic situation, and it makes you wonder. We've talked to the sheriff and the chief, Greg Graham and Chris Blair, about this very thing about guns. The cops have this moment of truth when they have to make a decision to shoot or not shoot. And it doesn't take too much sometimes to tip you over to one side. That's the frightening moment for a lot of people who have weapons. This guy was a former cop. And to have something like this happen, it's so tragic. What I think about is the mind of this man. What possessed him? And now, of course, he wishes he hadn't done it. But that doesn't bring the young boy back. And he says he felt threatened. Now, I mentioned this term yesterday, and I'm sure it's going to get me in trouble before it's over. I don't want to dwell on it. We've seen George Zimmerman, his situation, what happened there, and what appears to be an overreaction, but he was not guilty. We see the situation with this guy in Jacksonville who must have been pushed to the brink and imagined something that wasn't there. You hear things like this happen all the time. People think they see a weapon and firing into this SUV and killing this 1900 kid. And now, not to say this is the same thing, but you see the Marcus Smart case where he goes into the sand and comes face to face with a overweight, white, but fanatical fan who got into his face, and in a moment he made a bad decision to push the fan. And again, the fan is white and he is black. And I wonder if there's this element here of racial disharmony and conflict, which seems to make we're so suspicious of each other, and so we're intimidated by one or the other. And it could be my imagination, but it seems like we're getting more of that lately, and that concerns me. And I was going to talk about this around the water cooler a little bit today, but the fact remains is that in total, what we're lacking in this country, regardless of color of skin, is our civility has gone down the drain.
And I think that's what you've hit on it there. It's civility, because take the Jeff Orr, the fan at Texas Tech. Mm-hmm. He has no problem with hollering at any color. He just is so fanatical about his team. He doesn't care if you're black, white, purple, or green. You're a piece of garbage to him if you're on the opposing team, and he lets you know that. He loves all Texas Tech guys. He says the African-American Texas Tech guys, the white Texas Tech guys, love them all. But anybody else that plays against my team's a piece of garbage. That's not a racial thing. That's I have no civility and have no home training thing, in my opinion.
It's that. It's also the fact that, for instance, this guy's acting like a 15, 17-year-old kid himself, and it's ridiculous that he would respond that way. But you know what? We all thought, right off the bat, the same thing. We first heard about it. He must have used the N-word.
That's exactly what we thought.
So we all thought that, and you think, well, in that case, he deserved what he got. But getting back to my point, I think this starts, well, I'm not going to preach a sermon on this, but the fact remains is I began to become aware of some of this meanness that's out there. And it started with me by being on the internet. 7, 8, 9 years ago, when I got involved with a message board on Gator Country. And I saw the things that were written about people, how mean and hateful they were written. I thought, you wouldn't call this person this to his face. They can hide behind this internet, and they can make statements. And in general, this seems to generate animosity, cruelty, and incivility. And I think we got a problem.
It does.
We had a problem in our country. We need to get a little bit nicer. And George Bush, the senior, said it right. We need to have a kinder, gentler nation. And we need to stop and think about that. I think we're a mean-spirited country in many ways right now, but that's why we need certain people to be in our world, like the person just walking the door, Angie Lewis. On a scale of 1 to 10, and be honest about it, you can be cruel if you want to.
I will, because she's a Cardinal fan, so I can be cruel if I need to be.
And how on the nice scale, what would Angie be?
Oh, on the nice scale?
Nice scale.
In my interactions with Angie over the 2 years,
Just
2.5 years I've known her.
Just be an answer. I don't know.
1 to 10?
Yeah.
About a 14.
Aw, that's really sweet.
Now you're just kissing up to her, is all you're doing.
No, I'm still going to destroy her and fake and fact her. And she's a Cardinal fan. She's a Cardinal fan, which makes her, low on the totem pole when it comes to baseball. But
Austin?
But high when it comes to winning teams.
The highest possible. Angie's always been the nicest.
Out of 10, how many?
10.
10?
Hey, awesome.
You guys are getting a little bit carried away here.
I'm just being real.
Buddy's fixing to give her about a 27.
No, I'm going to give her a 9.9999 just to keep her honest. I don't want to get kind of,
Now that Joe Reichel guy she's friends with, somewhere around a 3.
Angie, glad you made it in. I know we're just running a little bit behind. You can cut our break in half a little bit so we have a little bit longer so she's here. What's going on with you, lady?
Well, of course, as you know, I film festival stuff. So I had some meetings with some downtown people today, so I knew that I was going to be pushing it on time. So I'm glad I was able to get over here.
I'm glad we kept the door open for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we want to make sure that that's great. Always good to have you because so many things going on, and whatever it is, you're in the middle of it. And
well, it's good. I had a great meeting today with Kevin Sheely from the CEP.
Yeah.
So
what are you doing there? Give us some secrets.
It was not, you know what? All we did was just had a sit down, just kind of talking about, you know, how a lot of times everybody's got the same mission. You know, we all want jobs. We all want, you know, developing our city to be, you know, more entertainment, all this kind of stuff. So, you know, you've got the city, you've got the CEP, you've got the Downtown Business Alliance, you've got all these organizations. And he and I sat down today and I just said, how much do the organizations get together and share and kind of collaborate and talk about, because we all want the same thing. We all want more jobs. We all want a good place to live. We want a safe place for our kids. We want a great community. But, you know, so do we sit down and get together and talk about how are we working together on these things? So I just sat down with him today just to kind of talk about, you know, what was going on with the film festival, because, you know, the film festival is, it will be an economic driver in our community, giving back scholarships to our community. I mean, there's a lot going on with that. You know, we talked a little bit about Discovery Science Center, which next week Melissa Townsend was going to be on the show, because we got the cattle, the Blue Jean Ball coming up, and then the Cattle Drive, which is a great family day event on the 22nd. So just it was a great talk, just to kind of see, you know, where is everybody at in their communication.
You're right. We need glue. That's what I think. I think you're like glue. I like because you, wherever you are, you kind of pull things together. And I was thinking there's a couple of things that are very exciting around the corner that I'm going to talk about the next couple of months, and you are too. And one of them is a film festival. If you haven't heard about it, I can't imagine, but you can go online and find the Silver Springs International Film Festival.
SpringsFilmFest.com.
Thank you very much. I know it. And check it out. And you'd be amazed what's happening. And so people can't quite grasp this is a major deal and a big festival with 39 countries, you know, involved. Anyway, so that story. The second thing is, I won't talk much about it today, is have you been down to Eaton's Beach, Sand Bar and Grill?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. Did you feel a little bit like you were in the Keys when you were there?
Little bit, yeah.
That's what I thought when I was sitting out there. And I will have to say I was having a great Bloody Mary.
That's a perfect spot for you because that's a perfect kind of place for you.
It is, and it's chill. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's one of those things. That's one of the things like I like going to the Keys, because it's like a place where I kind of just unwind and chill out. And Eaton's Beach kind of gives you that very relaxed atmosphere. It's beautiful scenery and
excellent food.
I think Tom talked about too, like this summer they're going to bring in and maybe have some professional shows.
Oh, there'll be some water skiing going on. If Ingram's around, there'll be some water skiing. And here's the good news too, is that I really love what they've done in terms of the preservation piece of this.
Exactly.
There's a great history behind Lake Weir and behind Eaton's Beach. It's been around for over 100 years, and it was a resort area, and really, and I was a kid and I grew up. We used to go there and play games and do stuff, and there were picnics there and stuff. And it kind of went downhill, and now that's been revived. They put a lot of money and time in that for Randy Quenches and his team. Right. Fabulous job. So excited about that. What else is going on? What's happening at the Cup? You haven't talked about that lately.
Well,
Cup of the Irish. Did you ever change the name, or is it still the Cup?
It's still the Cup of the Irish. Okay. They've been really busy. They have been having music. They always have local talent. Mm-hmm. You know, a few nights a week. On Monday night, there's this Taylor Breck. If you haven't heard of this,
no.
She's 12 years old.
You're kidding me.
Star Banner wrote an article about her and talked about her singing at the Cup.
Goodness.
12 years old and just has this amazing voice and has started to really get this really cool stage presence too. Wow. First time she came and sang at the Cup, she just kind of stood behind the mic and sang a couple of songs. Now she owns a place when she comes in and she brings a big crowd, so that's fun. And then
this is like the Bluebird in Nashville. This is becoming the Bluebird at the Cup. You know,
it is.
Well, this talent is being discovered.
Exactly, because the Blue Jays. You know, you think about that's
Bluebird,
where they started.
Blue Jays, yeah.
And and now they're working on a record deal.
That's great.
They've got a clip here at that Crystal uses for her opening to her show, and a group called Still October that's been playing. And so it's just we've had some good music, and then just our regulars. They're gearing up. They're going to be doing some stuff for Valentine's Day. They're having a special dinner for that.
They can't get in that place now.
I think because they kind of keep it to everybody having a
limited menu and all that.
Right, limit and all of that. And then of course March will be big because St. Patty's Day. So
that's when St. Patty's Day is March.
St. Patty's Day.
I didn't know that.
So
my mother's name was O'Quinn. I didn't know that.
So that'll be a big weekend.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
At the Cup. And then, so my office is doing great too, if we want to talk about that.
I was going to ask you, was it true, by the way? I heard this rumor that you wrote a policy and someone said they really are glad to have an insurance agent that was a celebrity. Is that true?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
The
Yeah.
heck?
Sweet lady came in. She did. She had seen the article that you did on, the top 10 givers or whatever in Ocala this last year. And she brought the article in and she was so cute. And she said, I was thinking about shopping my insurance and I saw this article and I said, well, I'm going to her. And then she said, she was so cute when she was leaving. She goes, I'm going to share this with all my silver sneaker friends. So,
yeah, which is a great program. I should mention Angie Lewis from Angie Lewis State Farm Agency, and has been in business now 8 years.
Yeah, well, we've been here 9 years and in business 8. Yep.
Any news about moving at all yet, or anything there we can talk about, or is that premature?
Well, the one place isn't going to happen.
Okay.
That I was really hoping to get. If anybody wants to, give me a couple $100,000 to revitalize a beautiful home downtown,
would have been a beautiful spot.
Would have been a great
so
spot,
many things
but
to get
it just needs a lot more work than we're
Yeah,
able
you'll
to
find
do.
something great.
But we've got another spot we're looking at right now. When it's the right thing, it'll happen.
Yeah. I got to talk to you about insurance on something. I was asking somebody about car insurance the other day about clarification because it's so confusing, in terms of, you see all these advertisements and these packages and all this stuff. You're not really sure where to go, and you want the complete coverage, but you don't want to pay an arm and a leg, and you think, am I getting the best deal, et cetera, et cetera. So people could come in and shop their insurance, can't they, with you and say,
every day,
come in and say, hey, I got a policy here. Could you look at it and tell me what's best for me?
Exactly. I was just over at Pastor Sports, and it's funny because I actually have written down on a piece of paper, someone's like, you know what, I want you to review, So I just said, I'll just write down your address, your driver's license number, date of birth, and I took a picture of it, sent it to my team. They're working on it right now so we can get back to her. So yes, we at any time. But we like to say, I think where we're a little different, buddy, is people will come to us and they'll say, I want full coverage, or they'll say, just give me what I have now, or just give me the state, whatever. And we'll listen to them and we'll give them a quote for that. But then we like to really talk to them and say, okay, now let's talk about why you have these coverages and make sure you understand them, just like you're just now saying. There's not a one size fits all. It should be individualized per person, depending on what's important to them.
And the state, and the laws change in the state too. You got to be aware of that.
Exactly.
We got to take a break. Really, Joe Reichel, 50 people, get out of here.
Oh my gosh, he
please.
packed the place.
That's getting over the top. I'm telling you. Let's take a break. Come back. We'll talk about that, and we'll play Fake or Fact. Or do you think you can beat these guys today?
I don't know. I was kind of hoping I was going to miss that part, but maybe that's
come on now. Wait a minute.
I haven't been doing so good lately.
Oh, she's scared.
I am.
Oh, now you got intimidated. Come on now.
I'm just intimidated.
You're doing so good.
You'll do well.
I'm intimidated. She's got nothing.
We're coming back, and we're going to beat the you-know-what out of Tom Schmitz in this game room. Coming up next right here on The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
On the next day on Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Derek Welch. Derek survived a splenic artery aneurysm. The reason he survived is because he got care from Ocala Regional Medical Center's Trauma Center. He's coming into the studio to make his case for why we should keep the Trauma Center in our town.
John P. Davidson is a journalist. He has written a book called The Obedient Assassin, a novel of suspense based on a true story of Leon Trotsky's murder.
And then Ken Goldstein will be on with us. He served as Executive Vice President and Managing Director of Disney Online. He's coming out to speak to us about his book, This Is Rage, Silicon Valley and Other Madness.
Have all of your legal questions answered by attorney John Fuller on Legally Yours.
And then Dr. Will Clower will be on. He's an award-winning neurophysiologist. He's coming out to speak to us about new science proves you could eat chocolate every day and lose weight. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next day on Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
The Lodge Health and Rehabilitation Center, a Greystone Health Network facility, is hosting a community open house on Thursday, February 13th from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. There will be tours of the redesigned Rapid Recovery Center. No more drab, all fab. Plus, stations where you can talk with a cardiologist, dietitian, have your blood pressure or EKG taken free of charge. The Lodge Health and Rehabilitation Center, 635 Southeast 17th Street here in Ocala, Thursday, February 13th from 11 till 2 p.m. For more information, call 629-7921.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, the gauntlet's been laid down. A lot of smack talk here. Let's see who wants to perform, and let's see who can take we need a trophy, like the golden shoe or something, the golden shoe.
Okay, now I'm liking
trophy.
this.
Yeah. All right, you guys
Be a
ready to
crystal.
go? Yeah. I got a little footnote for you today, by the way, on one of the answers. Okay. Number one, when you've had a couple glasses of wine, sometimes your mind starts,
No,
wandering
I
around.
don't understand.
You would, because you only have one glass. Fake or factoid? Researchers have confirmed that people really do look more attractive after a few drinks.
Fact. I said that wrong. Fact.
Fact.
Yeah.
Boy, I thought you guys would go for fake on that. That's correct. You're all right. Y'all got to check.
Ear goggles are a serious fact.
Number two, the average 4-year-old child asks over 400 questions a day.
I'd say fact.
Fake.
That's a lot of questions, but Tom, it's fact.
Well, that's a lot of questions. That's why I went with it, because that's a lot of questions.
I would have too. Number three, Bob Dylan won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1974.
Fake.
Fake.
Fact.
It's fake. Austin gets a miss. Number four, Hunter Thompson won a Pulitzer Prize for his stories on Richard Nixon and Rolling Stone.
Fact.
Yes, fact.
Fact.
It's fake.
Don't. Oh.
I gotcha.
That one
By the way,
sounded right.
just so you know, Hunter Thompson committed suicide at the age of 67.
Hunter S. Thompson,
yeah. Per his wishes, his ashes were fired from a cannon in a ceremony funded by his friend Johnny Depp and attended by hosts of friends, including Senator John Kerry and Jack Nicholson. Little side light there. Number five, Adolf Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1939.
Yes, fact.
Fact.
You guys are good today.
He was Time Man of the Year that year,
That's
too.
true. All right, here we go with the mulligan round.
Austin's missed 2, Tom's missed 2, Angie's missed 1.
All right, here we go. Mulligan 1. Hitler admired Henry Ford so much, he mentioned him in speeches, kept his pictures, and gave him regular birthday presents.
Fake.
Fact.
It is fact.
Sorry, Angie, it's fact.
Oh, now I'm tied with Tom.
Oh, now you got to go. Here we go. Get your game
We're
face
all
on.
tied.
Sleeping Beauty syndrome is a sickness that causes people to sleep for up to 10 days at a time.
Fake.
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 It's fact. You all missed
10
it.
days.
Wow, so we all missed 3.
You all missed 3. All right, here we go. We
10
got
days.
Here goes a mulligan. Last mulligan. The average person spends 45 to 62 minutes a day just waiting.
Fact.
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 You're all correct. It comes down now to this, the number. All right, here we go. The Eisenhower is a great question, by the way. The Eisenhower Interstate requires that 1 mile on ever how many is straight. These are usable as airstrips in times of war and other emergencies. How many miles? The Eisenhower Interstate requires that 1 mile in every how many is straight?
1 in every 25 miles.
60.
50.
It's 5. I guess Tom won.
Tom wins.
Wow.
Man, I hate to come down. Angie, I was rooting for you. I knew you could. I want you to go low.
I know.
Thanks for
Tom
coming in.
wins.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's always great to see you guys.
See you again next Tuesday with your guest, Angie Lewis.
See
Always
you on
good to
Friday.
See you on Friday or at the meeting. All right, we'll take a break. And for coming up next is Buddy Sports Space. A lot of stuff, including Around the Water Cooler and the Pinkster coming up next, all here on
WOCA.
Whenever something big happens in Ocala and Marion County, Buddy Martin is there on the case.
I've known coaches who said they're going to retire at 50, still coaching, well into their 60s, in some cases 70s. So
yeah,
it's a good thing.
Well, the reason they're doing that is they never got fired, and they were winning along the way, and that's sort of what has happened here. And, I got to believe sort of my workout program or whatever I do all the time working out has really helped me sort of stay the same as I was really 20 years ago when I was coaching at Florida and so forth. As you know, buddy, I said one time, when I can't call the plays anymore and I can't remember guys' names, I need to get out of it.
Well, that's true.
I haven't hit that stage yet.
So remember, always check out Buddy Martin on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
Commercial Bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate alone.
Don't pump iron, dump it.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales with the health and beauty secret of the new year. The fastest way to look great in 2014 is to dump your old car. Lose that old car weight of a car you hate. Bring me your old car, and based on the sale price of the nicer, newer car you choose, I'll give you up to $5,114 off a nicer, newer car today. Look good right away in a nicer, newer car today and get up to $5,114 off.
Plus, R for the People credit approval process gets the lender sweaty and ready to approve you, even if you've had credit problems in the past.
Kick off your old car diet today.
See you at Prestige.
But wait, get here fast. My old car diet program ends after we've helped 47 people drop the weight of the car they hate.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis. Let's talk every Tuesday afternoon on WOCA, the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is Allison Campbell from the ARC Marion Foundation. Whenever I need the most up-to-date news on sports, Buddy Martin's sports page is where I go. Around the water cooler. Sometimes I even tell him myself.
Your home for CF Patriot basketball all season long. WOCA, The Source.
Okay, guys, listen up. It's that time of year again. Little chocolate hearts, roses, earrings. Valentine's Day's coming up. Last year you got me slippers that didn't fit. The year before, it was that steering wheel cover for my car. And don't even get me started on the vacuum cleaner incident. Now, don't get me wrong, flowers and jewelry would be nice, but this year I'd like something I can thank you for every single day. That new bathroom I've been dreaming about. You know, the one with the rain heads, body sprayers, touchless faucets, bidet, and even the seat warmer. So here's what you do. Step 1, return the crockpot and apron that you thought were good ideas. Step 2, pick up the phone and call Mike Scott Plumbing now.
You heard the lady, guys. Call today to schedule an appointment to visit one of our beautiful showrooms. The main showroom in Hernando or the new showroom in Wildwood right across from Brownwood Square. Call today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing.
And that leaf blower in the closet better be for your mother.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and
96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Ocala Radio, WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now, I'm Daria Albinger. It might be a good time to go and check your child's car seat. Federal officials and Graco are recalling more than 3.7 million, which have faulty buckles or latches. This is the fourth largest recall of its kind. Good, but not good enough. The FDA says research seems to show the pain reliever naproxen poses less of a risk to the heart than other pain medications. It's not enough, though, to change the label. Your daughter may not need all of those doses of the HPV vaccine. A Swedish study found 2 shots protect against some of the most serious symptoms of the virus. The CD says for now they assume only all 3 doses provide complete protection against cervical cancer. Shirley Temple is as familiar today as she was when she was young as an adult. She was the ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia and the U.S. chief of protocol. The original child star died this week at the age of 85. U.S. snowboarder Shaun White hoped for a 3rd Olympic gold. He didn't get any medals, though, in the halfpipe today after finishing 4th. This is ABC News.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to Haibu.com. That's HIBU.com, or call 877-938-HAIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
You wouldn't let a friend get in the ring with a heavyweight champ. You wouldn't let a friend guess which wire to cut.
The white one?
So why on earth would you let a friend smoke? Friends don't let friends smoke, especially when there's an e-cig that looks, feels, and tastes just like the real thing. So for everything friends do, return the favor. Give them an Android King electronic cigarette. Cigarettes, you've met your match. Available at participating 7-Eleven, Walgreens, and other retailers nationwide. Not for sale to minors. Contains nicotine, which is addictive. Find out more at enjoy.com.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
It's time for the world's great, well, not the world's great, the city's great, not the, well, at least the best one in the Paddock Mall. The best sports talk show in the Paddock Mall. Good to be with you on a Tuesday. It's a good day to be here. We're gathered around the water cooler because...
Wait, aren't we the only sports show in the Paddock Mall?
But you can't come in and talk when you're not in the room. When the show starts, you're not here. You can't come in and talk. Austin told me he won't have it.
I was in the room when the show started.
He said it's his room, and he'll run it. And he says if you aren't here when the show starts, you have to wait your turn.
Austin works
I just do what Austin tells me to do. He's running the show, so I'd go by what he tells me. Anyway, yeah, it's the best one around here, and we are the only one, so it's the best. We can say that. No problem. So next hour will be some interesting conversations, some maybe a little debate, disagreements. So we've been known to have a disagreement or two on this segment. On his way in is Tom James, the voice of the Patriots and Marion County High School football, and I should say probably FGCU basketball too, because he does a webcast for them and does some ball games. His associate Chris from CF is here tonight. He's today and sitting in on the studio, and I don't know, maybe he's after Tom James's job. I don't know. Could be he's looking for that. But anyway, good to have you. We didn't get tweets and quotes last hour, so we'll save them to tomorrow. But I wanted to say that I think we got more to talk about today regarding Michael Sam, just because it's still out there and there's lots of things being discussed, and just sort of weigh in one more time on that issue. And we'll also talk about Keith Smart, because that's an important sociological, cultural thing that happened. It's not just another incident in the stands, because you're talking about a young man who is nothing but top drawer. Great parents, good decision maker, good kid, and we'll discuss that a little bit. How does that happen? What is sports coming to? What are we turning into as spectators and players and fans? We're almost getting to the point where we're getting like the Romans, where you go up or down on whether they get to live or die.
You may have a very good point.
It's ridiculous. Also, we got our favorite dude in Orlando, the best TV guy around, lots of fun. The great Pinkster, Dave Pinkler, will join us next segment. Pinkster is calling a shot the other night on the upset of the year by the Magic, and the team that he's dogged all year, and says it's the worst team in basketball. And he made a prediction, which I'm going to ask him how he pulled that one out of his hat. And also, I'll tell you who Seth Greenberg of ESPN says is the best team in the country. Might kind of surprise you. And finally, we'll talk about the dunk by LeBron they're all talking about, and it didn't even happen in the game. So those are some of the topics. Meanwhile, we've got news. Now the golden-throated Austin Tatman will give you the news.
You're too kind, buddy. But first headline of the day, Cleveland Browns owner Jim Haslam announced that CEO Joe Banner would leave the organization in 2 months, and that the new GM, or that the old GM, Mike Lombardi, also leaving. Ray Farmer was promoted to GM immediately, with Alec Shiner taking over as president.
That's a dumpster fire in Cleveland, buddy. That's what that is.
Mess.
And that guy may end up in federal prison anyway, because he's the guy that owns the Pilot gas stations, and say they did a lot of fraudulent stuff, not giving people money. He said that they earned through reward cards and everything. So
Tennessee fan, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee guy?
Yeah.
Haslam, he's a friend of the quarterback of the Denver Broncos, by the way, too. So anyway, go ahead.
Next headline, new NBA Commissioner Adam Silver says Mavericks owner and an entrepreneur, Mark Cuban, is good for the league, which happens to be different from his predecessor, David Stern, who publicly butted heads with Mark Cuban. In his 14th season as an owner, Cuban was fined over $2 million by Stern, mostly for criticism of referees. New Commissioner Silver said there has been some public stuff around the edges between Mark and the league, but Mark's input has been hugely beneficial to the league in so many areas the public will never hear about.
this is a guy who is yet to have Mark Cuban say his officials are terrible and he's a terrible commissioner.
Buddy, new pitcher Masahiro Tanaka.
Yeah, I don't know how you say that first name. It's tricky.
Yes. He was introduced by the New York Yankees to the media today. Almost 200 media people. The franchise's largest news conference for a player in more than a decade. Tanaka speaks very limited English, stepped to the mic and basically said, "Hello, my name is Masahiro Tanaka. I'm very happy to be a Yankee."
I saw him do that, and one of us very bad English. I can't even begin to speak Japanese, and I give him a lot of props for starting off his career.
You understood what he said, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And by the way, wait till I tell you how he arrived. That's the story. And around the water cooler later, I'll tell you.
But I bet you couldn't go to Japan and speak Japanese correctly, where they can understand you.
Ichiban.
I could do that. That gets me a beer.
There you go.
But if you were to guess who would be leading the Olympics right now in terms of medals, who would you guess?
Oh, you mean country?
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't be the U.S. It'd probably be Russia, I would think. But then that's obviously a trick question. So let me just say Austria.
Can I guess?
You can guess.
Switzerland.
Wrong. Both of those not in the top 5. Netherlands leads with 10.
You know why? It's all but skating. They're good at that.
Yes. Canada 9. No, I'm sorry. Take that back. Netherlands is in third with 7. USA is 6. Norway leads with 10. Canada 9.
Okay.
Norway, Canada, Netherlands, USA.
Okay. No, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yes.
You guys watching any of this?
Not a second of it.
Well, you got to watch some of it now. Come on.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the best Olympic event that there is to start.
Yeah.
Curling.
They don't have weightlifting.
Curling is the best Olympic event.
By the way, you got to see.
It's tonight, by the way.
The ice dancers, you got to see this little girl, Gracie Gold, and this little Russian girl. They are phenomenal. I mean, they are really, really, really fun. I'm not a huge ice skating fan, but you talk about art, I mean, they are really terrific. And if you miss that, you miss something special. And there's a lot to go here yet. Hockey's got to start, and whatever the downhill's going on. And some of our people are dropping like flies. Well,
curling starts tonight. That's the important.
Care about curling, Tom.
It's a great event.
Second only to the luge, by the way, in terms of I don't care about curling.
Yeah, but you're in the minority. Curling is a huge
I'm not
sport.
In the minority. If it helps,
huge.
Yeah, it's so huge. What the ratings does it get? About a 1 on TV?
At the Martin House, maybe, but it's going to get probably a 35 tonight.
Yeah, your house. Yeah, sure. Yeah. What you got?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Be watching tonight. See what happens. We got a couple locals. I can't give. Should I give the spoiler alert again?
No. We've already gave it.
Well, let's just say some good news, not so good news for the local skiers. You'll find out tonight. So, let's talk about. We'll go to break. Who do you think Seth Greenberg says is the best team in America?
I'm going to take a flyer and say the University of Florida.
Why would you say that?
Because after watching them, I think they're probably better than Syracuse.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Syracuse has all the parts, all the makings of it.
What makes them? Why would one be better than the other? You guys explain.
I like Florida's. I just, and I know Florida plays a zone too, but I just think Syracuse. I think Florida has the better chance to go all the way to a national title because Syracuse, with that zone defense, if they run into one team that's hot one night, they're out and done. And you run into one team that the zone doesn't stop their three-point shooters from shooting three-pointers, and they get hot, Syracuse can be dispatched. Florida's in your grill 96 feet, and then they get into that zone some. They can wear you down. I just think Florida's better suited against every team, and Syracuse can run in against that one team that has a great night shooting and lose.
I agree with that statement, but I also think Syracuse is a better team right now today than Florida is. But I think Florida is right on their heels. But I also agree Syracuse will live and die by that 2-3 zone, and they get one night
where a team shoots 60% and they're done.
They're done.
Well, here's what the flaws are in your arguments. First of all, Seth Greenberg said right now Florida is the best team. He says because they have 4 seniors and because they've improved so much, and obviously Casey Prather was averaging 6 a year, now averaging 16, whatever, and how much better they've become, well, with more depth. But that's today. Things can change, as we know, and also it's all about matchups in basketball. It really is about matchups. How does Florida match up with Syracuse? So the different questions are who will win the national championship, who's the best team today. I think tonight is a big test for the Florida Gators. I would not be shocked if they lost that game tonight in Knoxville. I think it's going to be a tough day. If McCray gets off and goes for 20, 22, 25, they're going to get beat.
The 2 national championship teams were 0-2 at Thompson Bowling.
And I understand that. Not to say they can't still win.
Right.
But are they the best team today? Well, maybe, but they won't be the best team tonight, maybe. So that's my point there. All right. We'll take a break. We come back. We got a TJ sighting in the house someplace. He arrives like a rock star. When it's the main.
Well, he's out at the autograph line right now signing autographs.
I understand. And of course, you know how you have the opening acts and then the star comes in. So the star's here. We'll take a break. Coming back, and we have Dave Pinkelor coming up next, right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget, owner of the brand new Proper Tease Salon. It's a perfect time to freshen up your cut and color for the new year. And if you really want to change up your look, talk to us about Hotheads extensions for extra volume and length. How about a blowout for date night? Give us a call. Enjoy some me time while you relax in our newly renovated salon and check in on Facebook using our free Wi-Fi. We know you'll be happy with your new look. We guarantee it. Our style guarantee assures you that no matter what, you will love your hair or we will fix it for free. Call for your appointment today. 352-351-1771. We're located in downtown Ocala next to the Southside Deli. Tell us Buddy sent you for 20% off your first service visit. Now hiring licensed cosmetologists, nail techs, and front desk staff. Visit our website, thepropertease.com, for our online application. The Proper Tease Salon, timeless elegance meets classic style.
Whenever something big happens in Ocala and Marion County, Buddy Martin is there on the case.
Head coach of the Florida Gator basketball team, Coach Billy Donovan. How are you feeling right now about this team in 2013 2014?
You know, but I like these kids a lot. They've worked very hard. It's a good group. The most challenging part for me as been a coach has been the inconsistency of players in practice.
So remember, always check out Buddy Martin on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Being physically intimate with your spouse on a regular basis ends up making people look 7 years younger. And studies show that obese people who added vinegar to their diet had lower body weight, lower body fat, and lower triglyceride levels. You might want to brush up on your on-camera interview skills because today, 42% of first-round interviews take place over the internet via webcam.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound, all-beef chili dog or a tasty, home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less roofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
All day I face the barren waste without the taste of water.
Man, that song makes me thirsty. Oh, it must be time for that segment, Around the Water Cooler with Buddy and Tom Tom. Tom Tom? Wait, Buddy and Tom and Tom. Oh, who cares? Here's Around the Water Cooler.
The nights are cool and I'm a fool. Each star's a pool of water. Cool.
Clear water. This is a beautiful song.
Okay, I like the song sung by these guys better than that promo that just ran. I tell you that.
And that doesn't really matter what you care about, what you like. It's what this guy cares about. The great Pinkster. As we welcome calling Tom James and the Oracle from Local 6, who called a shot like, I don't know, it was like picking the Jets to beat the Colts in Super Bowl III. I mean, the Pinkster on fire. David, what were you thinking picking the Magic against Oklahoma City?
Well, what is it? A blind squirrel flying every once in a while. Right
that's
there?
a good definition. Yeah.
Well, I don't know exactly why I picked. It was last Friday night. It was Thursday night in the air. I said, I like the Magic. I like the Magic to win.
I saw it.
I think they play.
Yeah.
I know they play. They play well at home.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I've covered the NBA for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when these teams come in like that loss means nothing to Oklahoma City. When they're all strapping up the laces in June, that loss is nothing. That's a bigger win, because I remember covering the Magic when they were winning 50-plus games, going to the NBA Finals. They would lose a bizarre game every once in a while. They just do. They come in on it's a Friday night. They really don't want to be here. They're just going through the motions, and they got caught off guard, and they were the Magic. They won, and then they beat the Pacers. Now, I thought the Pacers were going to blow them out Sunday, so.
Now, let me say,
I am on the record saying
you
they're
are
going to beat OKC.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you played the replay last night, and you humiliated poor Tom on there, and of course, by the way, he called you out saying, "Wait a minute, you said you had no idea, and then you picked him. You said you reversed your field." He kind of called you a hypocrite there.
Well, I said slim to none in part of the show, and then I went on the record saying I like the Magic.
But I'm with Tom. He says slim and none, and I don't know. Maybe you just changed your thought process. Anyway, it was a good call, and you should take a bow, man. That's good. Good stuff.
Yes, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I watch every night I can. I watch. So I even flip over from the just to watch it from the Winter Olympics. But by the way, are you watching the Winter Olympics at all? Be honest.
I haven't watched 1 minute of the Winter Olympics.
Here he is, Central Florida's leading sportscaster, the great Pinkster, admitting on our air he hasn't watched 1 minute of our country's efforts in the Olympic Games in Sochi, Russia.
That's on a competing network, buddy.
Right now, I'm going to tell you why.
He's waiting for curling.
Okay, this is why. And I've never been an Olympic big guy, big fan of the Olympics. I already know the results. If you like watching the Gators play Tennessee, and you already know the result, why am I going to watch that?
Would you have watched Would you watch a replay of the Americans beating Russia in the semifinals in 1980 at Lake Placid? Of course you would. You would have watched. You would have watched knowing the result, wouldn't you?
I might tune in when I know one of the big goals is going to happen, but I'm not going to. No, I'm not a. Listen, sports programming to me, if it's not live, I'm not watching.
So what you're basically saying is you're not a patriot. That's what you're really saying.
Has nothing to do with being a patriot.
I don't know.
It has nothing to do with it.
What he's really saying is
I can root for the American Olympic team, but I don't have to sit there and watch.
Yeah.
What time is it right now?
Yeah. What he's really saying is it's on Channel 2. It's on Channel 2, and he works for Channel 6. That's what he's really saying.
Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
It's 2 a.m. in Russia. Every event that we know is over. They're going to come on at 8 o'clock tonight, and no, I can't do it.
How about one of our girl skaters actually wins the gold medal?
We already know. Was it Bodie Miller? What did he finish fourth today?
Yeah, but Bodie Miller. Well, see now you gave away. Hey, you can't give these without a spoiler alert on our show. We don't spoil it for the people who want to watch. Okay, I know it's not. It's on NBC and it's not on CBS, but we can't ruin your film. Let's skip subject. Let's go to something more important. Michael Sam. Too much made of it? What do you think about that whole story?
Oh, that's a good question. Not too much made out of it.
Well, I mean, they talked about it for 2 days now, and you think it's now news. Of course, there are gay men playing in the National Football League. There have been for years. The fact that he came out,
right. Players are, it's just a media. I mean, the story's going to go away here in 3 days. It'll come back when he gets drafted, and I don't know if people really care. I don't know. That's a great question. Is it overblown in today's world versus 30 years ago? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, I think. Look, players in professional sports and college, they already know who's gay, right?
Well, I don't know if that's true, but they have an idea. Of course, he had come out to the team.
Yeah, there's always whistling, so they already know.
Yeah.
Right.
Although there's some questions about people, and I know some players in the National Football League who are great stars, and I've had people ask me, "Is he gay?" I have no idea. I wouldn't know, but I mean, there's always that.
Like a rumor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it helps Sam or hurts him. I don't know. I can't. I mean, look, I have no idea.
All right, so here's the question. We're going to go around the water cooler here real fast. All right, do we think it's overblown? Is it more? How important was it enough to make the news cycle for 24 hours? I'll ask the guys here, yes or no.
No, it's not overblown. This is a first, and you knew that this was going to be the reaction, that this would be a big deal.
Use an old phrase from South Georgia, mountain out of a molehill.
Austin?
Yes, I think it was way overblown.
All right, so there's three guys who basically think it's overblown. You say also too, David?
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, no one. The average person has no idea who even that guy is.
Yes, he was the defensive player of the year, co-defensive player of the year.
knows. Okay.
But you're right.
You know, 'cause
you're
you
right.
follow it.
No. You're right. The average guy doesn't know.
Listen.
If I said Michael Sam, would he know who Michael Sam is?
99% of the population, maybe 99.5%, does not know who that guy is.
Okay. All right. We'll pass on to something more.
Buddy, for the record, Tom James thought it was not overblown.
Okay, well, Tom says it was. I'm sorry. All right, so back to the point about a real important story. That's Keith Smart. That is a story. That's a disturbing story. It's Marcus Smart. Excuse me, Marcus Smart.
I
Who
almost made that mistake the last night.
I did it. I've done it twice today. Keith Smart. I know Marcus Smart, and that is an important story, and the one that I think is disturbing. And what are your takes? What's your take on that?
Well, it is disturbing because, again, no one knows what was said exactly. I mean, so regardless of that, a player, I mean, you got to be able to keep your cool. We'll just say, there was no racial slurs at all. Again, no one knows. Okay, but we'll just say, for argument's sake, that was not said. Okay, players in NBA. College basketball, where fans can sit there, they get heckled all the time. And if you sit in the courtside, as you guys have during college basketball games and NBA games, as I've sat around, their fans yelling bad things. I mean, not racial, but just mean. They're just. So I think what happens is, as a professional, you got to know going in that's what you're gonna have to deal with. You can't do that. I mean, you just can't. You can't push the fan. I mean, the fan, so his reaction was, he just pushed the guy. I mean, obviously he shouldn't have done that, but he lost his cool.
The classic,
lose your cool.
The classic case of no matter what the fan did, two wrongs never make a right.
Billy Donovan's quote was, "I tell our guys all the time, when you're going on the road, there's always going to be situations and things that can distract you from doing your job. Just focus on what happens between the lines." But in the heat of the moment, it's easier said than done.
And again, maybe the fan didn't even say anything. It could have come from somebody else.
Oh, he said
I don't
something.
know how that guy could even hear that.
No, you can see the video. You can see what he was saying something to him to his face.
All right, yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing. Here's the disturbing part about this. By all accounts, including the coach here, Tim Ryan at CF, and other coaches we talked to, Marcus Smart is as good as it gets as a young man. Billy Donovan made him as captain of his 19-year-old Olympic
under 19
team, and they rave about what a great kid he is. What's disturbing is to see someone like that get into that environment, which raises a couple of questions. A, what would it take to get a kid to lose his cool like that? And B, are we coming to a time where some of these hecklers are just a little bit over the line, and are we sitting on a powder keg in terms of having another meta world peace situation? I mean, that's the thing. Those are the disturbing things to me right there about the sport, because it's going to happen again.
Well, listen, I've said this, and I don't know when, and no one knows when, but in the NBA, I mean, they've had that brawl. Something bad. Okay, it's just too easy for fans to do something really bad. I mean, I remember, the Monica, what was the tennis player's name?
Monica Seles.
Ran on the court and stabbed her in the back.
I mean, I still can't believe something horrific has not happened in our world today. It's just, it's very, especially, it could. I mean, it can happen anywhere. So,
Buddy,
they're right there. The fans are there. They can do whatever.
I agree with you guys in the sense that, I think the clock is ticking on how close, and especially seems to be the case in college sports, how close some of the fans are in certain venues to the court, to the field. And one day when something really, really bad happens, those days of that access that close, do you agree with me that those days are going to be over?
Oh yeah, I mean, if something horrific happens like that, yeah, I mean, I think I bet, commissioners of leagues and owners of leagues, I think they know that, but they just hold their breath that it's like, oh, this can't happen to us. You know what I'm saying? I think they know worst case scenario, but they just, pray that it doesn't happen.
I'm just saying, be glad that a nutbag like me played football and not basketball.
Although you would have been able to think a little clearer today with all those hits on the head you've had. Hey, listen, tonight on Local 6, what are you going to tell me?
We got some Magic stuff. We're talking about the Gators at Tennessee tonight. Should be an interesting road game. Who
you pick? Who you picking in that game? Who you like in that game?
Oh man, what's the point spread in that game?
I don't know, but I think Tennessee may win that game.
Really?
I just have a feeling. Yeah, but Craig goes for more than 15. They're going to win it. I think. Anyway.
Yeah. Well.
Is the mailbox on tonight?
I'll give you a shout out.
I'll be listening. And is the mailbox on tonight? By the way.
No mailbox tonight.
No mailbox tonight. Okay. Well, I like the mailbox. Tell the mailbox I like him, will you?
All right, I will.
David Pingalore, the great Pingalore, he's on every night. Local 6, our favorite sportscaster on this show. Thanks, David.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, take a break, come back. We got to go long. We got to go quick. Run out of time right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Whenever something big happens in Ocala and Marion County, Buddy Martin is there on the case.
Your friend and my friend, Evan Pope, has covered every Super Bowl. Sadly, he won't be able to. His string will be broken this year. I know you know Evan, known him for a long time. A lot of people talking about what a terrific sports writer he was and what a good guy. And I hate to see him not being part of the writing game anymore. I know you do too.
Yeah, Edwin's one of the best. And, of course, our friend Tom McEwen was one of my favorite sports writers. You were probably second, buddy, but Tom McEwen, he did a lot for me. I think he got me. He helped get me my first head coaching job down there at the Tampa Bay Bandits. And then, of course, I've known you way back since I played in Florida also. And
well, Coach, I never got you a job. But I did write a column.
No, you never got me a job, but you didn't get me fired anywhere either.
So remember, always check out Buddy Martin on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of 2 study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
On the next day on Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Derek Welch. Derek survived a splenic artery aneurysm. The reason he survived is because he got care from Ocala Regional Medical Center's Trauma Center. He's coming into the studio to make his case for why we should keep the Trauma Center in our town.
John P. Davidson is a journalist. He has written a book called The Obedient Assassin, a novel of suspense based on a true story of Leon Trotsky's murder.
And then Ken Goldstein will be on with us. He served as Executive Vice President and Managing Director of Disney Online. He's coming out to speak to us about his book, This Is Rage, Silicon Valley and Other Madness.
Have all of your legal questions answered by attorney John Fuller on Legally Yours.
And then Dr. Will Clower will be on. He's an award-winning neurophysiologist. He's coming out to speak to us about new science proves you could eat chocolate every day and lose weight. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next day on Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
The Usual Suspects Jazz Quartet will be in Arthur's Bistro at the Hilton Hotel on February 1st from 6:30 till 9:30 p.m. And then on February 15th, Arthur's Bistro will be having a Gala Valentine show with The Usual Suspects featuring guest vocalist Mark Raich from 6:30 till 9:30 p.m. for your dining, dancing, and listening pleasure. Based on previous performance, we recommend that you make a reservation for the show. Call 352-390-1515 for The Usual Suspects Jazz Quartet.
Only one race can make you believe that great things come to those who wait.
Dale Earnhardt is going to win the Daytona 500 in his 20th try.
Only one race can make you believe in the power of underdogs.
Trevor Bayne playing defense. He's out in front at age 20. He's going to win.
Only one race can make you believe in the difference between a legendary career and an iconic one.
Petty takes the checkered flag and wins the Daytona 500.
The Daytona 500 is that race. And since 1959, it's proven that year after year, lap after lap, this is the race that creates more memories, more Hall of Fame moments, and more believers in the power of racing dreams than any other. If you've never been, the Daytona 500 is the one race that will make you believe there's no greater feeling than being here. Tickets start at just $65, and select tickets are half price for kids 12 and under for the 56th running of the Daytona 500, Sunday, February 23rd. For tickets, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or go to DaytonaFive00.com.
Clear water, the shadows sway and seem.
Sing it, Hank. We like that one a lot. Okay, time to go around the water cooler to go long. I'll start first with the announcement that the Cal Ripken Lou Gehrig of Olympic broadcasting has his streak broken. And frankly, many of the cruel comments about Bob Costas and his ailments on the internet were downright cruel and inhumane. There'll be a new voice calling on NBC's prime time tonight. Matt Lauer replaces Bob Costas, who has eye infections and had them since the games began. So ends Bob Costas' streak of 157 prime time Olympic nights for NBC. It dates back to the Seoul Summer Games, 1988. Wow. And he had this eye problem right off the bat, and he said, well, we expect it to clear up by Sunday, and it got worse, and it spread to two eyes. And you know, people are making jokes about it. There's a joke about, I think Bob took the red eye to Japan, to Russia, and all that stuff. And some of them are kind of funny, but you know what? I think they're now gotten to a point where they're mean-spirited. There's some really cruel comments about the guy, and then they go on and off on these message boards, they trash Costas. I mean, look, folks, have a little perspective about this. Like him or not, like what he says or his politics or not, Bob Costas is one of the true icons in the business. He's a brilliant broadcaster and a very smart guy who I think is one of the best we've ever had on television. And if you want to take him on for some issue he has with his politics, fine, but don't jump on the guy who's got two bad eyes and he's hurting, and he is redefining playing hurt. So here's to Bob Costas. Not an athlete, but as I said, he's redefining the term of playing hurt at the Olympic Games.
Fans wait in the fan area for autographs. Okay, I'm okay with that. Fans buy tickets and merchandise to support their team. I'm okay with that. Fans yell their approval or disapproval about the teams that they spend their money on. Okay, maybe that's okay. Fans yell F-U-K-U or you're a piece of crap to a player, making it personal. Finally, something I'm not okay with. Is it okay for me if I were a player to go into a local bank and tell the teller what a piece of crud they were? I think not. I know players are public figures, and the fan interaction at games is to be expected. They do pay a lot of money to be there. And at times, this interaction is encouraged. But personal attacks, in my opinion, are a no-no. I know you're probably saying, okay, smart guy, where do we draw the line then? How about 20 feet from the players and the players' surfaces to start?
Very good. Yeah, they do pay a lot of money, but Schmitty, but they don't get carte blanche, right?
Right.
Okay. For my go long, I'm going to take it, turn back the clock just a little bit. A friend recently said to me, if Ali and Tyson fought, both in their primes, Tyson would kill Ali. Undoubtedly, if you've spent any time at all in a sports bar over the years, somewhere along the line, you've overheard that debate. What we're really talking about here is Cassius Clay / Muhammad Ali in the 60s before his 3-year banishment from boxing versus Iron Mike in the late 1980s. Before or beyond their acumen in the sweet science, both were magnetic figures outside the ring. But let's forget about the charming Ali and the menacing Mike. This is about the squared circle. So your winner is, by unanimous decision, Muhammad Ali. Why? Because we've seen this fight already. It's called Clay Liston. Cassius dances and moves, and Tyson can never catch him to deliver that shot. Ali, through the years, was more versatile and, yes, tougher. Not that Tyson couldn't take a punch. His chin wouldn't be the issue. His stamina would be. Think about the brutal Ali marathon fights of the 70s. Tyson wouldn't last. So if he couldn't hang with Ali in that decade, he'd be toast in Ali's prime.
And there was this guy named Joe Frazier, by the way. Yeah. That was a war. Those were wars in those fights. Good. Well said, guys.
Just remember Ken Norton broke Ali's jaw in round 1, and Ali lost a split decision in 15.
And he kept fighting.
Right, he lost a split decision. All right, Austin's got his go on.
Buddy, do you have the Snapchat app?
I don't have Snapchat, no.
Well, today, the NCAA has recognized Snapchat as a communication tool for recruiting. Snapchat is a photo messaging application that allows users to take photos or videos, add text or drawing, but then set an expiration for how long the message is shown. Coaches send Facebook and direct messages on Twitter along with Instagram posts, and those are archaic text messages. According to University of Texas Compliance Office, schools will be able to begin using Snapchat for recruiting August 1st. Now, buddy, I don't know if you've ever used. Obviously, you haven't used it.
I know what it is. I've never used it. And by the way, I cannot fathom the NCAA saying one is better than the other. You know, what's wrong with Instagram, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's baloney.
I agree. That's my point. I think it's a little ridiculous. I don't know how a coach nor a player can get anywhere in the recruiting process when you take a picture. Most of the time, these are selfies.
Yeah.
Take a picture, write something on the picture, and then after 7 seconds, it's gone forever.
Yeah, there you go. I agree with you. Okay, you guys hear about this story? Newscaster out in L.A., the ultimate interview that went bad. You heard about this?
No.
With Samuel L. Jackson. He's going along, and he's talking to Samuel L. Jackson, and he thinks he's Lawrence Fishburne. He actually thought, no, I'm sorry, he thought the guy in the commercial thought that Samuel L. Jackson was Lawrence Fishburne in the commercial.
Gotcha.
Okay,
yeah,
got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going along, and he says, when Jackson asks, what Super Bowl commercial? He says, they ask him, what Super Bowl commercial? And he said, Jackson says to the announcer, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter, he says. I'm not Lawrence Fishburne. We don't look alike. We may be all black and famous, but we don't look alike. Of course, Reuben is white, and he says, and then... And Jackson said, I'm the what's in your wallet black guy, he said. He said, but Fishburne, he's the car black guy. Morgan Freeman is the other credit card black guy. You only hear his voice, though, so you probably won't confuse him with Lawrence Fishburne. Oh, bring it in. Samuel L. I like Samuel L. Jackson. All right, let's say, all right. I got something I'm going to call it my thing. Anyway, meanwhile, let's talk about tonight's basketball game. Florida Gators playing in Knoxville. Important game. Gators got a streak going on here. They're playing at high level. I don't think they're even close to playing their best basketball yet, but if they don't, the three-point shot, I think tonight is a key thing for Florida. They've got to hit. Frazier's got to hit his threes. If you notice every game when they get in trouble, the one guy can bail them out is who? Michael Frazier. He can bail his three-point shooting. So I think if there's anything that they lack, it's the scorer's mentality aside from Frazier and hitting the foul shots. They have to. They got to put a clamp on McCray. You guys want to share your thoughts about that game?
Here's my thing with this game. Is I haven't heard of that one game yet, and he's always good for 1 or 2 games a year, where Scotty Wilbekin goes on one of those streaks where he just bombs three-pointers. And Scotty Wilbekin usually plays good against Tennessee. This could be the night where it doesn't rely just on Michael's shoulders. Scotty Wilbekin could probably chip in some, and he's due for one of those games where he has 5 or 6 3-pointers.
Well, and I don't see the Gators running the table through the rest of the regular season, and that's not to say that they don't go all the way and hoist the trophy in the beginning of April. I think there's a great chance of that. But if there is a game that they lose down the stretch here, tonight might be it. I think that's a legitimate thought, buddy. It may not be because they play badly. I think Tennessee's going to be really up for this game, and it could be close down the stretch, but I could see that happening, sure.
By the way, buddy, Florida's a 1-point favorite, and they have lost 7 of 8 at Thompson-Boling.
Yeah, that's a good stat you brought up earlier before, so for sure. All right, so speaking of basketball, CF had a rough trip to Daytona. Tom, you were there on the call. What's next for CF?
Well, tomorrow night we'll have the game here live on WOCA, 8 o'clock. It's CF hosting Santa Fe, and we watched CF lose to Daytona State College on Saturday afternoon, and they had guys throwing up 26-foot 3-pointers and making them. So Daytona State just shot it out of their minds.
So buzzsaw Saturday.
It really was. It really was.
I heard you say at one point, I think Tim Ryan wants to get on the bus and get out of here, as I remember. I didn't watch this last night. You can't watch everything. I mean, Winter Olympics. But apparently a great game between Kansas State.
Yeah, it was good.
Except for the crowd.
They had... I guess in the end, Andrew Wiggins, who had struggled but hit a key shot in overtime, and he drove the lane, missed a game-tying layup, but rebounded his own miss and tipped the ball back in. K-State, led by as many as 9, and upset the Jayhawks last night. I think Jayhawks won 9 in a row, getting ready for their mojo, and that set them back a little bit.
And Kansas State almost never beats Kansas in basketball, so that was a big one for the Wildcats.
Yeah. All right, big news today in baseball. The Yankees made a classic signing. They said Steinbrenner-esque. We'll talk about that. We'll get our Did Not Know That, and I know this for sure, coming up next right here on Around the Water Cooler.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA.
The Source.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks? No shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
For more information, call the McDonald Agency at 352-622-2333 or visit us online at themcdonaldagency.com.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
If you didn't catch Around the Water Cooler on Buddy's sports page this week, here's what you missed.
During the season, I really don't say much. The week of the game, you say something nice about your opponent. You don't talk trash during the season. But in the off season, the summertime, some people like to hear something a little cute or funny. So I think it's fair for all of us coaches in the off season to give our fans a little something to get a smile on their face about.
Around the Water Cooler, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 o'clock on Buddy's sports page.
Hey, Liz.
Yes, George.
Your cousin Myrtle wants to watch TV.
So?
She wants to watch TV in our living room.
So?
Well, she needs her chair.
Go get her chair.
But it's in Devon Self-Storage, and she wrapped it well with the supplies, and it's 8 o'clock at night.
So? Devon Self-Storage is open late, and you have your passcode, and you know where they are across from Hobby Lobby.
But Alice!
You can call them tomorrow at 873-0777 and thank them for being open late.
But Alice, I just got my warm jammies.
George.
I'll be back with a chair from Devon Self-Storage.
Thanks, George. Thanks.
CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion, formerly Workforce Connection, is your partner in employment solutions. Whether you are looking for a job or searching for a great new employee, CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion is here to help with a full menu of services, all at no charge. To learn more, drop by one of our career centers, visit our website at careersourceclm.com, or give us a call at 1-800-434-JOBS. CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion. New name, same focus on solutions that work for you.
It's cold in here. Ooh, it's hot in here.
It's just right in this house.
Looks like 1 out of 3 know about climate control mechanical services in Ocala. The first didn't call 291-0185. The second didn't know to call 291-0185. The third called 291-0185. So the moral of the story? To know is one thing, but to know and take action is another. Climate control mechanical services. Just right.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
And way up there, he'll hear our prayer and show us where there's water.
All right, round the water cooler. Tom James, Tom Schmitz, Buddy Martin, Austin, Statman, Tatman, and our visitor Chris in the house today. Going around the water cooler for one more segment. You guys hear about the cleaning house up in Cleveland? Man, can't see
that's a dumpster fire.
What a mess that is up there. I saw one ridiculous tweet today that Chaim, is that his name? The GM general manager? Haslam,
Owner, Jim
Haslam said his only hope is to go hire Peyton Manning and use him how John Elway does the Broncos. I mean, it's really gotten bad. Also, other news, Ndamukong Suh fired his agents and expected to have Jay-Z and Rock Nation included in his new circle of advisors. So this is what we have now. We have advisors. We don't have agents, I guess, is what's going on. But, whatever it is.
Whoever was advising him before this wasn't doing a good job.
Not so good, but heck of a football player, even though he is a little bit of a nasty player. Do you hear the news about the Yankees, the signee? They say this is Steinbrenner-esque. Listen to this. This guy, his name is Masahiro Tanaka. Came in today and said in English, "I'm happy to be a Yankee." People are already writing about how this is the biggest thing since 2003, since George Steinbrenner did something. This guy's going to be a number 3 starter, which, it seems to me that if he's a number 1 starter, you might say it's like the second coming of Babe Ruth. But this guy's obviously a great player, 25 years old. I'm going to tell you a little more about that, and I did not know that. Speaking of which, it's time for I Did Not Know That. Who's got one?
I got one. The 76ers lost last night by 40-plus points. That was the second consecutive game for the Sixers to lose by 40-plus points. They're only the second team in NBA history to lose back-to-back games by 40 points. Who was the first team, you might ask? The 1993-94 Philadelphia 76ers.
What goes around comes around.
I did not know that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Wow. I did not know that.
All right. You talked about Cleveland, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 coaches in the last 45 years. The Cleveland Browns have had 3 coaches in the last 407 days.
Wow.
Is that it? Wow.
I did not know that.
And 8 since 1989, I heard today, too, by the way. Amazing. Okay, how about this? Masahiro Tanaka chartered a 787 Dreamliner just for himself, his family, and also the family dog, a toy poodle. The cost of such an aggressive move, $195,000. The Dreamliner, which seats more than 200 people, normally was reserved by Japan Airlines and done by the 25-year-old so he could reach the start of New York spring training, quote, in the best of form, according to a Japanese baseball official. Okay. Wow.
I did not know that.
And
Tampa International that landed.
And by the way, just adding along this, I do know this. Those for sure. How do you say toy poodle in Japanese? My guess is Tanaka will hear that from opposing dugouts.
All right.
Imagine. How's the toy poodle out there, buddy? Who's got one?
It's nicer than what the fan said to Marcus Smart.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I know for sure that if indeed Florida and Syracuse are the two best teams in college basketball, I know for sure that they will not meet in the national championship game.
I know for sure.
It's too good to be true.
I know for sure that one day, very soon, as much as it pains me to say, we're going to have an ugly incident between a fan and a player at some sporting event. And shame on us, we knew it was coming.
Let's hope it does not involve firearms, which is a scary thought, given the fact that they're shooting and driving hamburger places today.
Yeah.
So that's a sports not safe. To wrap up the program, I want to thank the guys here, Tom Schmitz, my broadcast partner, Tom James, Austin Statman, Tatman, of course, and Angie Lewis coming in to join us today on the program. On behalf of this team, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
You know, Austin, I'm sitting here at the computer looking at our Facebook page, and boy, we really need to tell more listeners about our Facebook page.
No, Tom. See, you got it all wrong. Twitter is the new age.
What's a tweeter?
No, a Twitter, Tom. The voice of Ocala has